Hello guys, I show you 5 openings with white to win the games super easily. There are openings where you don't hope that your opponent will blunder. If your opponent will blunder, you can win on this way, but that's super fine opening anyway. So let's see which are the 5 openings. Don't forget to like this video and follow me. First opening we are gonna see is the Vienna Gambit. Vienna Gambit is an e4 opening, so after e5 from your opponent, here white has to play knight on c3. Knight on c3 has been played the 10% of the times on chess.com because the mainly is knight on f3, but sometimes people play also knight c3. Black can continue with knight on f6, and here this strategic move, f4. f4 allowed to black to take this pawn, but here the mainly move, the first most played move, is d5. But here the second main move, as I told you, is e takes on f4. And here white can try to attack, playing e5. e5 forced black to do something because now the pawn is attacking the knight, but the main move is going back on g8. But seems no logical because black doesn't want to go back with the only piece that he developed. So the second main move in this position on chess.com is queen on e7. But queen on e7 is not so good because white can continue with queen on e2. And now, as you can see, the black knight cannot be developed in these squares, so the only move that he can do for saving the knight is going back on g8. Here, white can continue with knight on f3, continue developing the pieces, defending the e5 pawn, and here the first move on chess.com is d6. But now white can play knight d5. Knight d5 is attacking opponent queen, is also trying to take the c7 pawn, and for example, if the knight can jump here and the queen cannot take the knight on c7, is attacking the opponent king and at the same time is attacking the rook. So for defending the c7 square, black play on chess.com the first move, queen on d7. But here a brilliant move is knight takes on c7, because if the queen take the knight, there is a check after e takes d6, attacking the opponent queen and attacking the opponent king also with the queen. So king on d8, and after d takes c7 check, white can win this game immediately. The second opening is the Axo Gambit. What's the Axo Gambit? That's a gambit in the Scotch game. Scotch game is e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and d4. So white allowed to the opponent to take the d4 pawn, but that's not a problem because if black decides to take here, that's the main move, white can play bishop on c4. Try to take this pawn. There is no possibility at the moment, but he is preparing something for the future. Second main move, but super close to the first main move, is bishop on c5, because white could take this pawn immediately because before this move is attacking with two pieces and black was defending with just once. So that's a move for defending the d4 pawn. White can continue with c3, so allow to the opponent to take another pawn, but here there is a super brilliant move, bishop take on f7. And why that's a brilliant move? Because after king take f7, it is queen on d5 check, so he's attacking the king, but at the same time he's also attacking the bishop. King has to go back, and he go back, for example, on e8. That seems a normal and logical move. And here white has not to take the bishop immediately. He has to check the opponent first, because checking the opponent first, black has to play g6, the first main move on chess.com. And now, of course, white can take the bishop. d6 for attacking the opponent queen is the first main and played move on chess.com, and here queen can take on c3 because at the same time is winning the pawn and is attacking the opponent rook. There are two ways to defending this rook, playing the queen on f6 or playing the knight on f6, but if, for example, black decides to play knight on f6, there is the first or second is super close to the first move, knight f6, white can play just a tempo move, castle. black played bishop on g4, bishop g5, attacking the knight again. So two pieces are attacking knight, and black is defending with just once. So a normal move can be rook on f8. Here, white has to play knight bd2, defending the f3, and here black can play queen on e7. Queen on e7 is the first most played move on chess.com. e5 is the move. So after d takes e5, knight takes d5, another brilliant move for white, and after knight takes e5, there is rook on e1, attacking this knight, and that's over because in this position white has a big advantage. Now it's time to show you not an opening, but an entire game for winning with a checkmate with the opponent king in the center of the board. And that has been played several times on chess.com, and all the moves are the first move on chess.com. That's insane. That's a Sicilian, that's a Mengarini variation. So after e4, c5, here white has to play a3, a pawn move. After knight c6, white has to play b4, c takes b4, a take b4, knight take a4, c3, knight c6, and d4. As you can see, white lost a pawn because he missed two pawns against just once, but is taking the full control of the center with these pawns. d5 seems a logical move for trying to destroy this center, but here white has to play e takes d4, queen takes d4, and knight a3. Knight a3, normally you can think, okay, the second move can be something like bishop on c4, attacking the queen, developing pieces, but that's not the plan. Because seems logical play something like e5, trying to destroy really the center for black, but here is not bishop on c4, but is knight b5 the move, because the plan is going on c7. If the knight can jump on c7 right now, he's attacking the queen, the king, and the rook at the same time, so black has to do something. And what he can do, the first move on chess.com, the most played move on chess.com, is queen on d8, going back to defending the c7. But here white has to play d5, attacking the opponent knight. Knight has to go back, for example, on b8, and here d6. And now, as you can see, the knight can jump on c7. And after knight a6, rook take a6, so that's a brilliant move. Pawn take on a6, knight c7 check, and here king on d7. Queen a4, so it's not necessarily taking the rook. Queen on a4 check. Only moves for black in this position is king take on d6, knight e8 check. With king, for example, on e7, there is bishop on a3, so he has to play something different. He can play king on e6. Bishop c4 check, king is forced to go, for example, on f5, queen on c2 check, e4, g4, king on e5, f4 check, only move is take en passant, and after knight take on f3, it's checkmate. Next opening is a Pyrrhic defense. Pyrrhic defense is e4, d6. And here there are this variation called Bayern variation, where white can win the game or get a super good advantage. Because the mistake that black knew is so common that seems super hard to prevent. Let's see what's happened. After e4, d6, d4, knight f6, knight c3, g6, bishop on g5, bishop g7, e5, take, queen takes on d1, rook takes on d1, and that's the mistake that people do in this position. Because what black want to do in this position? He want to remove the knight and he want to attack this pawn. And he can play a move where he can attack this pawn with two pieces at the same time. Knight on g4. But that's a clear mistake. Because the idea is playing h3, forcing black to take this pawn with the knight, and here white can play knight d5. Knight d5 want to attack the c7 pawn, double attacking the king and the rook at the same time. So there are a couple of ideas. The first one is playing castle for black in this position, but here white can just simply play knight takes c7, he can win an entire rook for free. But if your opponent play knight a6 because he wants to defend the c7 pawn here, white can play bishop takes c7, b takes a6, knight takes c7, c7 check, and here after king f8 there is a forced move. White has not to take the rook, there is an immediate checkmate. The last opening is a bishop opening. What's happened after e4, e5, bishop c4 immediately. It's like a London system, but not with d4, bishop f4, but with e4, bishop c4. Knight f6 seems logical, black wanna take this pawn immediately, so that's why white played d3. Knight c6, knight c3, bishop on c5, and f4. That's a little bit sneaky move because you want to try to destroy in the center. It's not want to play prepared games, prepared moves. That's putting black into the game immediately. So f4, d6, and f5 castle for black, and here bishop on g5. h6, and here there is the brilliant move that white has to play. h4. Because the first move is, on chess.com, the most played move is h takes g5, pawn takes g5, knight h7, and after queen h5, as you can see, there is a forced checkmate because, for example, if black takes on g5, queen takes checkmate. But it cannot prevent the checkmate anyway, because if the knight takes here, there is an immediate checkmate anyway, so white can win this game. Okay, I know these openings are super funny. You can probably play this opening mainly on blitz or bullet games. In classical it's a little bit different, but sometimes I saw some of their openings played also in the classical games, and sometimes people fell into the traps. So that's safety moves, so that's not like an opening where you hope that your opponent blunder. You can play these openings so well that's not so bad for white all the games. So don't forget to follow me, don't forget to follow this video, to share this video also to your friends, and guys, see you on next video.